Channel Sports Central will be going over 5 reasons why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to beat the Packers in the NFC Championship game and why this team is going to advance on to the Super Bowl. And it's really not much of a surprise to see Tom Brady gunning for yet another Super Bowl. This season is just with a different team. The Buccaneers have been a team that this team has not made it to the conference championship in quite a while. And of course, it's not much of a surprise this season considering they got Tom Brady under center. So nonetheless, it should make for a good matchup here with the Buccaneers and the Packers. We did see Tampa Bay absolutely dominate the Packers back in October, but this is definitely going to be a totally different matchup. But nonetheless, today we're going to be going over 5 reasons why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to beat the Packers here in this matchup, and these reasons will be in no particular order. That being said, we're going to start with number 1, which is going to be Tom Brady, of course, quarterback for Tampa. And he's had a huge impact on this team this season. He's had a great first season playing with the Bucs, and it's been a huge adjustment for him for sure. I mean, if you look at how many years he played with New England, I mean, it's insane just looking at that. And he's won 6 Super Bowls, of course, and he's looking for his 7th this season just with a different team. He's got Mike Evans and Chris Godwin to work around. That's been a huge part of his success this season for sure. I mean, in New England, he also had a couple of great receivers. He had, of course, Rob Gronkowski, who's now with Tampa with him, and of course he also had Julian Edelman. But really, I mean, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin have been huge impacts for Tom Brady this season, and they've both played very well around him for sure. He continues to have a huge impact on the NFL and on this team in general. I mean, it just shows like how much or how great of a player he is when he completely turns around a Tampa Bay team that was kind of mediocre last season into a total Super Bowl contender this season. It's just crazy to see. I mean, he's put up 4,600 yards, 40 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, nearly a 66% completion rate as well. So, I mean, he's had an outstanding season for the Bucs this year, and this is definitely one of his better seasons, I would say. I mean, 40 touchdowns to 12 interceptions. He's thrown a lot of interceptions in comparison to some seasons, but I mean, all around, it's still, 40 to 12 is a great touchdown to interception ratio. He's very accurate, put up lots of yardage as well. So, Tom Brady, I definitely think still has several years in the NFL to come, especially considering how healthy he's been. 2 is going to be the experience on the Buccaneers side, and I do understand that Tampa Bay has not been in the conference championship in quite a while, but when he got as experienced of a quarterback as you do in Tom Brady right now, he's definitely the most experienced playoff quarterback in history. I mean, you've got pretty much all you need. I mean, Tom Brady, we've seen him completely turn around this team. They've made a deep playoff run, and when he got receivers Evans and Godwin, who've been playing around each other for quite a while, they've had lots of time to become great players. We've seen that a ton over the past couple of seasons, and those players are going to be huge in this matchup here. And even if you look at the defense here, this defense has continued to prove over the course of the season, and really that's going to have a huge part in this game as well. I mean, for the Buccaneers, they're going to have to play very well on the offensive side if they're going to want to win this game. Like, the Packers are going to score at least 30. You want to make sure that you can score 2, and with Tom Brady, that should really be no problem. Number 3 is going to be the receivers on the Buccaneers side. Speaking of which, receiving corps is led by Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Rob Gronkowski, the tight end who also came over from the Patriots, has also had an impact on this team for sure. And if you look at the yardage for all these players, Mike Evans over 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. Chris Godwin has also had a great season, 840 yards, 7 touchdowns. And then, of course, Rob Gronk, who's put up over 600 yards and 7 touchdowns too. So even though Gronkowski, it looked like he was going to retire, or he was retired, he came out of retirement, and he's had a great season with the Buccaneers for sure, and it definitely shows that he's still got it. Same thing with Tom Brady. Both players are fairly old, but both players are still playing extremely well. And really, if you look at even Tom Brady, he's got lots to work with here in all 3 of these receivers here, and this is going to have a huge impact on this game, especially considering the offensive part for the Buccaneers is going to be very crucial in this game. They're going to have to play very well on offense if they're going to want to win this game. Like, from start to finish, Bucs just have to play outstanding if they're going to want to beat Green Bay. Number 4 is going to be the momentum on the Buccaneers side. Over the course of the season, the Buccaneers have only improved, really. If you look at this team, they've really not been inconsistent at all. At the start of the season, this team looked kind of questionable. They did kind of have a little bit of a slump in there, but all around, ever since then, the Buccaneers have only improved. This is a team who's got a good winning streak going right now, and the offense has managed to deal with a tough Saints defense easily. We did see Buccaneers get completely shut down in the regular season to New Orleans, but it only matters in the postseason. And if you look at this Buccaneers team, they managed to deal with this Saints defense, which has been one of the best in the entire league, fairly easily. The Buccaneers played very well all around. getting through that Saints defense. And this defense is, I mean, the defense on the Tampa Bay side is playing as well as it has all season for sure. And that's going to have a huge impact on this game as well. I mean, you just have to have a good defense if you're going to beat the Packers right now. The Packers have got Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers playing alongside each other, best duo in the entire league right now. And that's going to be a huge impact on this game. I mean, they've probably got the best quarterback and the best receiver in the league right now working with each other. I mean, this Bucs defense is going to have to play outstanding throughout this entire game as well. Really from the start, I mean, this Bucs team is going to have to start really fast. Like, you do not want to let the Packers get a 2-touchdown lead on you, or else they're just going to pull away from there. So, really, the momentum side is going to be huge for the Buccaneers here, considering they've played very well over the course of the last few weeks for sure. They've only improved over the course of the season as well. Lastly, though, number 5 is going to be the rushing core for the Bucs. This rushing core is led by Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette, two running backs who have had huge impacts on this Tampa team. And really, I mean, if you look at Leonard Fournette, I mean, he had a huge game in that Saints game for sure, and he's definitely going to have a huge impact on this game as well. And really, Ronald Jones too. I mean, both running backs here are going to have a huge impact on the outcome of this game. And the running back core was a huge part in the game against New Orleans. We saw both running backs run for a decent amount of yards, and passing is going to be very tough against this Packers defense. It's going to be very important that you can rush and pass on this Packers defense, because the secondary, especially on this Green Bay side, is going to be very tough to get through. They got Jair Alexander, who's definitely one of the best defensive backs in the entire league. And really, I mean, the secondary in general is looking very good for the Packers right now. And the rush defense, I mean, they've also got a good defensive line, but, I mean, that's their main weakness on their entire team is on the defensive line. So, I mean, for this Buccaneers team, they're going to have to rush a lot on this Packers team if they're going to get the win. I definitely think that they should be able to do so. Definitely should be an interesting game here. I'll link my prediction on this game here in this video here if you guys want to check that out as well. But this should be an interesting one here between the Bucs and the Packers. Both teams are on hot streaks right now. Both teams have got good winning streaks. Both teams have got great quarterbacks, older quarterbacks with Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. It's always fun seeing both of these quarterbacks going head-to-head, especially in a situation like this in the conference championship. Pretty crazy to see Tom Brady in the NFC, but certainly it's been a great season for him. And, of course, with him gunning for a 7th Super Bowl ring right now, I mean, he's certainly going to be very motivated in this game considering he's with a brand new team. But that being said, there are some of my 5 reasons why the Bucs are going to win. Let me know your thoughts down below on this game. I appreciate you guys all watching. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central, and I'll see you guys all later.